screen. I hope that's good right there. And then let's see how that works. All right. So the name and the title of this presentation is the Egyptian origin of energy systems in the body. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to say, can we call it chakra systems? I don't know. I don't think so. That's not necessarily something that's there, but let's go ahead and explore this concept to see exactly what's being talked about here, right? So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is the Greenfield papyrus, right? Now, in the Greenfield papyrus, you have this you have this presentation here, right? You have this presentation that of, I think this is set on the side here. The baboon is Jehudi, and then this is Ahmet, the is like a judgment monster, so to speak. And this is after death, when your heart is being weighed by the feather of Ma'at, right? And now, right here, you have 3 circles below and then 4 above. And Ahmet is cutting the line to the 3, and then so that you rise up into the 4. Now, presumably, in this presentation, your heart has light as a feather, and so then you've ascended in consciousness, right? That's what is assumed here, right? So what is this really discussing? What is this talking about here, right? Is this talking about the chakras, which is an Indian conception? Can we really say it's talking about the chakras? Let's just see, right? Let's just see, right? So the information I'm going to talk to you about here comes from these 2 books, Tantra Illuminated and the Chakras Energy Centers of Transformation, right? And there's one other book that's not on here, but it'll come up later, right? These are great books. I suggest you get them, study them, read them if you're interested in knowing information about the chakras, right? So what are chakras? Chakras, according to Harish Johashi, chakras are energy centers in the body that are active at all times. Energy moves through the chakras to produce different psychic states. Now, you activate and control this energy through meditation and other through meditation, concentration, through ritual, through dance. These are the major ways in which you activate the chakras and move energy up the spine, right? Now, in truth, there are many different systems of chakras, right? It's not just the one chakra system that we're used to, right? There's the Puranika chakra system, which has 12 chakras. There's the Vadika chakra system, which has 9 chakras. And then there's the Yoga Trimuni Upanishad, which shows 6 chakras, right? Now, the modern system that we have of chakras in the West originated with the Serpent Power book, which was written in 1918 by Sir Arthur Avalon, right? This is where the modern day 7 chakra system was presented, right? So in the West, when we're talking about 7 chakras, this is where it comes from, right? Now, the chakras were introduced earlier when there was an explosion of interest in Eastern metaphysics, Eastern metaphysical knowledge, right? But as a book, this was the actual official first book which introduced chakras to the West. Okay. Now, as far as the different systems are concerned, though, right? You have 12 chakras in the Puranika chakra system, which is a chakra system from the Puranas, which are like holy texts in India, right? You have the Muladhara chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra, the Manipura chakra, Then you have the Harit chakra. The Harit chakra is a chakra that's inside the Anahat chakra, the Anahata chakra, which is in the heart, right? Then you have the Vishuddha chakra, the Talu chakra. The Talu chakra is like a chakra in the back of the throat, behind the neck, so to speak, right? Then the Ajna chakra, the Shakti chakra, the Kalisa chakra, the Rodini chakra, and then the Sadashara, right? In this slide, what I've done is I've highlighted the chakras that are extra that is not a part of the seven, right? These are different systems. I just want to show you the different systems that they have, right? And then you have the Narayana chakra system, which has 9 chakras. And then the extra chakras here are the Talu and the Nirvana chakra, right? So, and I'm presenting this information to let you know that, what we know of has chakra systems in the West is not all that's being taught about the chakras. It's just the dominant system that we have over here. There are other systems, other ways of thinking about chakras, in the Eastern Indian conception of them, right? So just to really clear that up, right? I put this in here to talk about the founder of the modern yoga system because you know, it it comes out of a lineage, right? The modern system kind of came from the teachings of Hatha Yoga, and Hatha Yoga was a development of Goraksha, who was a student of Matsyendrana, who was also a practitioner of Vaishnavism, Hinduism. But I decided not to go into that. That can be an entirely different presentation and discussion. And so we'll cover that. I'll cover that at another time, right? But what I wanted to point out here was chakras are energy centers that go up. I should have put a space right there. That go up the spine, and conscious activation of them leads to different psychic states. That's the teachings on what the chakras are, right? Now let's look at Kemet versus India as far as energy centers in the body. Right now, we don't have the concepts of chakras in Kemet, nor do we have the specific statement of energy centers, right? Just right off the bat, you do not have that. Also, according to Tantra Illuminated by Christopher Wallace, the modern system of chakras did not begin to originate till the 1st century of the Common Era. So it could not have influenced ancient Kemet, the ancient Kemetic idea of chakras, right? So now in Kemet, we have Arits. In India, we have chakras. In Kemet, we call them gods. In India, they're energy centers. Kemet is in North Africa. India is in southern India. In Kemet, it's an association with judgment. In India, they cultivate judgment after death. In India, they're cultivated in life. Now, in Kemet, there's metaphorical language. In India, straightforward. In Kemet, you call out the name for cultivation. In India, you call out the sound for the activation. So let's go into the text, right? That's the Greenfield Papyrus. I think it is important to give some context to the text. Pyramid text. The pyramid texts are the oldest written documents that we have inside Kemet, right? And then this is in spell 223. This is Unas, who swallowed his 7 urea and his 7 neck bones, which came into being, who governed his 7 Enneads. And here's the sovereign's case. Unas will receive myrrh and become beautified with myrrh. Unas' fingernail full of myrrh. Unas will take away your power. God, serve Unas, who will sign your power. All right, so first off, we have a conception right here. We have the introduction of a 7, right? 7 Urae. Now the 7 Urae are 7 spiritual powers, right? Conceptualized as serpents. And then he talks about his 7 neck bones that govern the Enneads. Now the Enneads are gods, right? So 7 neck bones that govern gods that are in his vertebrae. It doesn't say vertebrae here, but where's your neck at? Your neck is a part of your vertebrae. So let's go. Pyramid 371. Now this is, okay. Meriere is a bull herd, or Merira. This is Merira, sorry. Merira is a bull herd to whom belongs 4 mills and 7 mills. For 4 are in the sky and 3 are for earth. For the 3 are for the earth and 4 are for the sky. So now we're getting this sense of a separation of 3 to earth, 4 to the sky, 3 to earth, 4 to the sky. And please remember the image. I'm going to bring the image back up later, but remember the image, right? Now, this is from the coffin text, right? To become a bull snake and a Nehu snake. I am a Nehu snake, a bull snake who leads, who's, once again, this is a continuation of the pyramid text. This was a spell inside the pyramid text that by the time they get to the coffin text, which is about 900 years later, give or take, you know, they're still keeping it. That's a whole different separate conversation. The pyramid text was when it was strictly for the pyramid text is strictly, you know, recitations for the pharaoh and his evolution and his spiritual journey. But by the time you get to the coffin text, the Kemetic people began to write these for people who could afford the coffins. This is where they're found on, right? And so this spell is a cultural reference that was continued in the coffin text, and then we'll see that it's even continued in the book of Coming Forth by Day, the Perth Imperu, right? I am a Nuhu snake, a bull snake who leads, who swallowed his 7 urae and his 7 neck vertebrae. Here it says neck vertebrae, who came into being, who gave orders to his 7 Enneads, which hear the word of the monarch, right? So now, so now we still have this concept of the 7. And then now here it more explicitly states the neck vertebrae, right? So we get more of an understanding here. Both cultures use snake symbolism to represent the rise of energy, right? This is the Wachet Nekabet, and this is the Ida and the Pingala, right? But both cultures are now. What are we saying here? We're just saying that both cultures are using the snake to represent the rise of energy. Did one culture influence the other? That's yet to be seen. Like I said, the conception of the chakras began in the 1st century of the Common Era. We're talking about ancient Kemetic conception of of energy centers, our gods within the body, dating back to the pyramid text, which is like 2,600, 2,800 years BC, like 3,000 years, way, like 3,500 years before. No, not 35, like 3,200 years before the Indians start doing anything with the chakras, right? Once again, now here we have 7 gods that are associated with the 7 days, 7 gods associated with 7 days. Now, is it the 7 days of the week? It's not explicit, but it's 7 days, right? I started this presentation looking for, is there association between astrology and anything in Kemet that could like lead us towards it? And I found this, which is completely different than what I was looking for, right? Once again, another spell talking about. Now, this is the division. The division here in this spell is a bit different, right? 7 portions and on, 3 portions in the house of Horse, 2 portions in the house of Set, and 2 portions on the earth and get with Geb. So that's different. It's still talking about 7, but it's a different breakup. And not everything is 100% uniform in Kemet with different things, right? But here we go again. This conception, 7 portions spell 188. 7 portions have gone forth. 4 portions are in the sky. 3 portions are on the earth with Geb, right? Off the bat here, once again, look at the symbolism here in this scene. It's giving context to the symbolism. The symbolism is showing that the Amet monster is severing the ties with the 3 portions that are on the earth with Geb in order for the initiate to rise up into the 4 portions which are in the sky with Ra. Right? What does that mean in the Kemetic mystical initiation system? Question. But what is this talking about? This is talking about energy centers that are within your body. Because this is the judgment scene of this particular person. This is the judgment scene of this person, and it is saying that this person has severed the ties of the three portions that are on earth with Geb. That is what this is saying. Once again, another spell, 189 again, says the same thing. 4 portions in the sky with Ra, 3 portions on the earth with Geb. That is what this is talking about. I gotta admit, I put this on here to be completely honest, but I don't understand this one. Just be honest. But this also, uh, because it says the gods eat feces, I think here, and so that is very interesting to me, right? But here's another thing that's similar. These 7 spirits lift up Ra. Now, if you look at this as metaphorical language to talk about energy in and of itself, like Ra is the sun, and what type of energy is associated with the sun inside yourself, it would be your ashe, your chi, your kundalini, right? And then your 7 spirits lift up the Ra within you. We could say that as a metaphor. You know what I'm saying? But what does the text say? These 7 spirits lift Ra up, right? That's in the text. 100% in the text. Now, what are the names of these 7 gods? Spell 335 gives the names. 1, bull who was not put to his burning, the black-faced one who is in his hour, the bloody one who was preeminent in the mansion of the red linen, radiant-faced one who comes after having turned back, he who sees in the night what he shall bring forth by day, he who serves as the chief of this group, where his name is, the great one who was not driven away. Now we can make all sorts of metaphysical, correlations with that. That's exactly what it is, right? So this has been a really quick presentation of this, but now we know the meaning of this scene. It has meaning, but is it the 7 chakras? We can't say that for sure. What we can say is that they are the gods within the body, 4 that are in heaven, 3 that are on earth, and that these gods lift up the body of Ra. See here, 1 second.